In a quiet suburban neighborhood, Dr. Reynolds was a trusted and beloved dentist. Patients flocked to his clinic, seeking relief from toothaches and dental woes. But beneath his friendly facade, a sinister secret lay hidden. Behind closed doors, Dr. Reynolds indulged in a twisted obsession. He had an insatiable hunger for human teeth. Late at night, he would carefully extract the pearly whites from his unsuspecting patients, savoring the crunch and taste of enamel. The walls of his secret room were adorned with jars of teeth, each a grotesque trophy of his unsettling cravings. Dr. Reynolds reveled in the power he held over his patients, their smiles forever marred by the gaps he left behind. But one day, a courageous dental assistant named Emily stumbled upon the truth. Shocked and repulsed, she confronted Dr. Reynolds, demanding an explanation for his heinous actions. With a sadistic smile, he admitted his obsession, relishing in Emily's horrified expression. Yet Emily had a plan of her own. Unbeknownst to Dr. Reynolds, she had collected evidence of his vile deeds, recording his confessions and the gruesome proof that lined his secret room. She vowed to expose him and put an end to his reign of dental terror. In a heart-pounding climax, Emily presented her evidence to the authorities, ensuring that justice would be served. Dr. Reynolds, his life's work unraveling before him, desperately attempted to escape the consequences of his actions. But there was no escaping the truth. As the news broke, the community recoiled in disgust, their trust shattered. Dr. Reynolds was swiftly apprehended and his dental license revoked. The once thriving clinic stood abandoned, a haunting reminder of the horrors that occurred within. Years later, Emily, now a celebrated dental professional, ensured that the victims of Dr. Reynolds received the care and support they deserved. The community healed, and the nightmare of their former dentist faded into memory. But the unsettling legacy of Dr. Reynolds remained etched in the collective consciousness, a chilling reminder that even in the most trusted professions, darkness can lurk, waiting to be exposed. Years after Dr. Reynolds' arrest, a new dentist, Dr. Anderson, took over his abandoned clinic. The community breathed a sigh of relief, believing that their dental nightmares were finally behind them. But little did they know, Dr. Anderson had a twisted connection to his predecessor. As patients filed into Dr. Anderson's clinic, they couldn't help but notice his uncanny resemblance to Dr. Reynolds. His smile, his mannerisms, even his voice. It was as if Dr. Reynolds had returned from the shadows. Whispers spread through the neighborhood, and a sense of unease settled over the community. Was it merely a coincidence, or had Dr. Reynolds somehow returned to continue his dental atrocities? As the anxious patients sat in the dental chair, they couldn't shake the feeling of déjà vu. Dr. Anderson's touch seemed familiar, his methods eerily reminiscent of Dr. Reynolds. The unnerving similarities fueled their growing suspicions. One day, a particularly observant patient noticed a photo on Dr. Anderson's desk, a picture of him standing side by side with Dr. Reynolds, smiling as if they were old friends. The patient's heart raced with terror. Dr. Anderson was not a successor, but an accomplice, a kindred spirit continuing Dr. Reynolds' dark legacy. In a terrifying twist, it became clear that Dr. Reynolds had groomed Dr. Anderson to take over his reign of dental terror. The community had unknowingly welcomed the return of their worst nightmare, and their dental visits became a gateway to unimaginable horror.